Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm sorry I'm a little bit under the weather today, but I need to go ahead and get this voiceover recorded, so here we go. I'm going to be using quite a few pages from my stash today. That weathered wood paper is from the Marketing French Riviera collection, and I'm going to be trimming everything down to an 8x8. And I'm going to trim that page from the French Riviera collection down to about 7.5 by 7.5. When I mounted this paper, I decided I wanted to kind of balance out the directions on the paper. The string of beads paper is flowing one direction, and I decided to have that weathered wood paper going the other direction just to kind of keep it even. Because I scrap at an 8x8 size, I tend to size everything down just a little bit. These photographs are still printed at, I think it's a 2:3 ratio. It's essentially a 4x6, only I cut it down to a 2x3, I think. By cutting the size of the photographs down to 2x3, I'm able to use the same kind of layouts and sketches and designs that you would use in a 12x12 because it's just sized down to a little bit smaller. These pages are from my stash, and I don't remember the name of the collection that they came from. I found them at Michael's about 2 years ago. They were in the $5 for a pad of paper bargain bins. Because the colors on these pages blend in pretty well against that weathered wood background, I decided to go ahead and distress the edges and then ink them up with I think that's walnut stain distress ink. That just helps them stand out a little bit against the background. Now this paper is both textured and pretty thick, so I'm going to have to use a little bit more adhesive on it in order to get it to stick. I'm also going to have to pop up that one photograph there of my husband laying down on the boardwalk to get a photograph. I don't even remember what he was taking a picture of, but sometimes he gets down into the craziest positions to try to get a shot. One of the reasons that I chose to position the photographs the way that I did is because that boardwalk creates leading lines leading from the photograph of my husband directly to the photograph of me, and it just helps draw the eye from one photograph to the other. This tag has been in my stash for, oh gosh, a really long time. I made that probably 2 years ago using some mixed media techniques. The stencil, I forget where I got the stencil, but that is Heidi Swapp's gold texture paste and a variety of different distress inks sprayed on the background, and the background is coated in That blue piece of paper is something that I did shortly before I started putting this layout together. I'm going to be using it as a journaling tag, but it's a combination of a variety of distress sprays, including the Distress Resist spray, a doily stencil from Prima, and I think that's Picket Fence distress spray. The embellishments that I'm putting down there are DIY embellishments that I did with a variety of mixed media inks, and I think that camera is one I found in the Michael's bargain bins. I just heat embossed some gold detail embossing powder on top of a page that I had covered in a variety of distress sprays. I'm gonna end up messing with this journaling tag for quite a while, and then when I finally get it to where I want it, I'm gonna go ahead and distress it just like I did with the matting for the photographs, and then go ahead and stick it down. Before doing this layout, I did a test run with Ranger Perfect Pearls in Perfect Pearl, and you can see that there on the left. The alphabet stamps are from the Sweet Stamp Shop. I think this is called the Cartoon Filled Alphas, and I stamped them on the same kind of beaded string background paper that I matted the layout on with the Versamark ink, and then I dusted Ranger's Perfect Pearl in Perfect Pearl over the top of it, and then spritzed it with a little bit of water, although I figured out pretty quickly that I didn't quite spritz it with enough water because the Perfect Pearls weren't perfectly affixed to the paper, so I'm going to end up having to spritz them again, and before I spritz them again, I'm going to have to cover up the photographs. When I watch other crafters, I kind of like to know what their thought process was, why they decided to do things the way that they did, so that I can hopefully learn some techniques and thought patterns to help me make layouts that I like better. And the reason that I chose to lay the title out this way is because I wanted the title to be in contact with several different elements on the page that helps everything look grounded, like it belongs together. And because the matting paper that I used for the photographs is so thick, I had to go ahead and also pop up the top part of the word shot on some foam tape, and I'm also going to have to pop up the word the. So here's where I'm going to go ahead and spritz the perfect pearls again, and then after I do that, something that's probably going to make every photographer but don't panic, everything turns out okay in the end. Some of the water had gotten in places that I really didn't want water, so I went ahead and dried it real quick. And then the reason I didn't want water there is because I needed to put an additional piece to my title up there, and it wasn't going to work very well if that was wet while I tried to write. So this is just a Tombow marker. I think it's the black marker that comes in every Tombow marker set. And I'm just handwriting, "Did you get?" And then it continues down into the shot. Now I'm covering the photos up again because I'm going to get out the picket fence and also black soot, distress sprays, and put some splatters down on the paper. For my journaling, I'm just going to journal a little bit about how photographers have to sometimes get into weird positions to get the photographs that they want. That just about wraps it up. Thank you for joining me for my Scrap With Me video today. Stay tuned for photographs at the end of the video, and don't forget to click on the link to the blog to read additional descriptions and get a supply list. Thanks.